Hi guys, quick preview of the upcoming Wolves game against Leicester. So we've just had the pre-match preview with the new manager, Vitors. So injury news at the moment, it looks like Sarr may not be available. He was asked about him and Sarabia, and he kind of talked a little bit more about Sarabia than he did about Sarr. But from what I got of it, obviously he was trying his best because he's not got the best English. It looks like I think he mentioned Sarabia had a calf injury, but I'm not quite sure if he was mentioning both players had calf injuries. But it looks like both of them aren't going to be available for the games. That's Sarabia and Sarr. Not a bad press conference. Seems really positive. Seems quite happy. Obviously, he's got a lot to change with the squad tactically. So hopefully, he can do something. He can do something different. Hopefully, he can work more on the defence. I know Gary O'Neill was doing a lot of zonal marking. I'm not quite sure if he does more like man marking, but I think something like that would be a massive improvement to the squad. I don't think we've got the kind of squad that can really cope with zonal marking. Maybe if we're Real Madrid, but yeah, I think like someone like Dawson, you really want him man marking a player, and that way, obviously, there's less chance of set pieces going in. If you got someone like Dawson marking someone for corners, for example, trying to prevent them from headering. So hopefully, he can come in, change a few things. We've already seen there's been 2 training sessions on the pitch, and he's getting stuck in there with the players, telling them what to do, and hopefully he can do a little bit more with the fullbacks. For me, they wander a little bit, and I think maybe if we can look at bringing them a little bit tighter in so that the centre backs aren't so vulnerable and left obviously by themselves. So I'm sure he'll come in and first thing he'll look at is changing the defence. It's interesting to see what he's going to do going forward with some of the players that haven't had much of a chance. Like for me, Guedes is a great player and probably should be starting. I think when he came on against Ipswich, he changed the game a little bit. I'm pretty sure he got the ball through to Cunha, so I think he got an assist for that. But great player. Obviously, this manager's Portuguese. I'd assume he's seen a lot of Guedes through his years with Valencia and through his years with obviously being on loan. I think he went to a Portuguese side just before he went to Villarreal. And obviously he did have a number of Portugal call-ups. So I'd imagine this is a manager that knows a little bit about him, seeing as though they're both the same nationalities. I'd assume maybe he would get a start. Obviously we don't know exactly what's going on with Cunha. He may get he's definitely, I think, going to get a ban, but we don't know if that's going to be for Leicester or maybe that gets announced next week. So let's see what happens there. Hopefully he can play against Leicester. For me, if that is the case and he can play, we've got to find a way. This new manager's got to find a way of fitting Cunha, Larson and Guedes in. For me, there are 3 best forwards. So you'd assume he's going to play 3 forward. You never know. He may play a 4. He may play like a number 10 and play maybe 2 wingers, a striker, and someone behind the striker. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens there. For me, he's got to try and get Guedes in the squad. Larson and Cunha up top. Definitely for me, I'd look at playing potentially a 3-man midfield. I would quite like to play someone like Doyle as like an AM in between, because we normally see 3 very similar kind of midfielders. We see Andre, we see Lamina, and we see Joe Gomez. For me, I'd like to look at maybe playing Joe Gomez, Lamina, and maybe like Tommy Doyle, maybe slightly ahead, more like as an AM or like a central attacking midfielder, like a cam. I think he's quite creative. I know a lot of people slated him against Ipswich, but I thought he was really good. I thought the only thing that was bad was his set pieces. I don't think he took a very good corner. But apart from that, I thought when he was actually like infield and kicking the ball around, I thought he was quite creative, finding really nice little spaces and doing some nice little passes. So I'll try and get him into the squad, and I think really with this new manager, that would be a player that might be able to do that. I do feel like there is opportunity for more players to get involved. We might see maybe Doherty get more of a chance. I know Dawson obviously fell out a little bit with Gary O'Neill, but for me it'd be more of like a fresh change now for him. He may start coming back into the lineup. For me, I'd probably play, because obviously we're going to be missing Ignori because he's got a ban. I'd be maybe playing Totti as left back. I'd be playing Dawson and Santi as centre backs, and I'd be playing Semedo on the right, because I think we'll probably do a back four due to obviously the suspension there. I wouldn't normally suggest playing a three in midfield, but I think that's how we'll line up. I think we will play potentially four there, unless he decides to play Totti, Dawson and Santi as the three, and maybe bring someone like Doherty on the left hand side, but I think it's very risky. I know he's not everyone's favourite, but we know Totti can play on the left, so that's why I'm thinking maybe he'll play more of a four, and because he obviously has previously with his old clubs, and maybe in this case play a free midfield, but not a traditional midfield that we've seen with Wolves. I think someone like Tommy Doyle would be great. But yeah, Leicester's definitely a team we can get at. I can't remember the exact score, but I think it was like 4-0 they lost last game. So they're definitely leaking goals, and they haven't been scoring as many. So I think as long as he can, I know he's only got 2 days, but if he can somehow in those 2 training sessions, because I think that's probably all I'll get, 2 training sessions. If you can do something in those 2 training sessions, try and slightly tighten up that defence. I think we've got the attack to really hurt Leicester. I think defensively they're really poor, they're really shaky. So yeah, if we can get a few goals, we can at least try and outscore them if the defence is leaky. But yeah, let's see what happens in regards to the goal. In the goalkeeping department, it looks like Sarr can't play, looks like he's injured, so maybe we'll see Sam Johnstone start again, which I think is going to be more likely, and probably Bentley on the bench as a backup. Massive game. If we can get 3 points, we are actually in a lot better position. To be honest, with a new manager coming in, I think a lot of fans would maybe even take a draw. I think a lot of fans want 3 points, but I think a draw isn't the end of the day. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Hopefully we get 3 points. Hopefully we can start moving up the table, and hopefully we can get a first win under Vitor. And yeah, hopefully the players start playing again, start believing in themselves, start passing the ball around a bit better, stop being so shaky on the back line. Hopefully they can start defending set pieces, because that is probably where Leicester are going to go straight in and try and hit us, because we're most vulnerable there. So yeah, big couple of days on the training field, massive game for the first manager. So hopefully we can get 3 points. Up the Wolves.